Welcome to Famora. Don't forget to subscribe for more shocking family drama and jaw-dropping stories. I slammed the front door shut, and Adrian's laugh echoed down the hallway. "You're late again, little sis," he called, leaning against the kitchen counter. "I had homework," I shouted back, dropping my bag. And Mom kept talking about the grocery list like it was a novel. Adrian grinned, that sly smirk I'd trusted 1,000 times. "You know, one day you'll thank me for making you late." "Builds character," I rolled my eyes. "I'll build character when I'm done screaming into a pillow." He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "Hey, you're stressing too much. Listen, I've got a plan for both of us. Something big." I froze, curiosity bubbling. "Big how? Like college scholarship big?" "Better," he said, eyes glinting. "I'm talking about something that could change our lives. Money, freedom, everything." My stomach did a flip. You really think we can do that?" "I know we can," he said, placing a reassuring hand on my shoulder. "Trust me," I nodded, biting my lip. "I do." "I always trust you," he laughed softly. "I know. That's why I'll never let you down." "You know me better than anyone." "Yeah," I whispered, staring at him. "I've always looked up to you, Adrian," he smirked. "And I've always got your back. Always." From the corner of my eye, I saw Mom bustling with dishes, Dad reading the newspaper, both unaware of our private conversation. Our family wasn't rich, far from it. But we had love, and Adrian made it feel like anything was possible. "You really think Mom and Dad would let me invest in this?" I asked. Adrian's grin widened. "Don't worry about them. I'll handle it. You just focus on what matters. Your dreams." I laughed nervously. "You always know how to make things sound easy." "That's my job, little sis," he said, ruffling my hair. "One day when you need me most. I'll be there, always." I smiled, heart full of trust, unaware that those words would become both a promise and a warning I'd never forget. Adrian waved me over to the living room, his grin wider than usual. "I've got something to show you," he said, eyes gleaming with that familiar mix of excitement and calculation. I dropped onto the couch, heart racing. "What is it this time? Another one of your genius schemes?" He chuckled. "Not a scheme. An opportunity. A real one. Big money, bigger future. Think of it like the ticket to everything you've ever wanted." My stomach fluttered. "Everything, you mean? College, travel, my art?" "Yes," he said, leaning in closer. "But it requires complete trust. You give me control, and I promise I'll make sure nothing goes wrong." I hesitated, swallowing hard. "Control? Everything? Your savings, your investment, your dreams?" he said softly, almost whispering. "I'll handle it all. You just sit back, watch it grow." I bit my lip, trying to steady my racing thoughts. Could I really trust him? I've trusted Adrian all my life. But still, this felt like a gamble. "Are you sure it's safe?" I asked, my voice trembling slightly. He waved a hand dismissively. "Safe? I know it sounds risky, but risk is where rewards hide." "Look, I've already spoken to Mark." "Mark?" I asked, confused. "Yeah, my friend, finance wizard, knows what he's doing. He's in. This isn't just me talking big. It's legit." I blinked, caught between awe and anxiety. "And you really think it'll work?" "I guarantee it," he said, flashing that confident smile. "We'll grow your money, fund your dreams. You don't even have to think twice. I've got it covered." I hesitated again, my hand hovering over my wallet. A small voice whispered, "Are you sure?" But the louder one, the one that adored him, won out. "Okay," I said finally, heart pounding. "I trust you. Completely." Adrian's grin widened like he'd been waiting for this. "Good. That's all I needed to hear. You won't regret it, I swear." I handed him my small savings, feeling a mix of excitement and nervous anticipation. I hope I'm making the right choice." "You are," he said, his hand brushing mine as he accepted the envelope. "Because you trusted me. That's the first step to everything you've ever dreamed of. Just leave it to me." And I did. Naively, blindly, completely. At that moment, I didn't see the shadows behind his smile, or the betrayal quietly waiting in the wings. I stormed into the living room, my chest tight, stomach twisting. Adrian was there, casually flipping through his phone like nothing had happened. "Adrian," I said, voice shaking, "where's my money?" He looked up slowly, raising an eyebrow. "Your money?" "Yes, my savings. The investment." I threw my hands in the air. "All of it!" He smirked faintly. "Relax, it's not gone. I just redirected it." "Redirected?" My heart pounded. "You mean you stole it?" "Stole?" he echoed, as if I'd said a foreign word. No, think of it as strategic reallocation. For both our futures." My stomach sank. "For both our futures?" "You mean for you? You lied to me." He shrugged, calm as if discussing the weather. "I told you you needed to trust me." "And you did. That's your choice." "Choice?" "You tricked me," I shouted. "I trusted you. I gave you everything, Adrian. Everything." He leaned back, smirking. "And now you see how the world works. You're too trusting. I'm doing what's best." I sank onto the couch, numb, memories flashing. His promises, his smiles, his gentle words. Every moment of admiration I'd felt was now a knife twisting in my chest. How could he? My own brother. "Hey," my phone buzzed. A text from Lila I heard. "I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" I typed back furiously, fingers trembling. "No, I can't believe he did this. Everything is gone." Her reply came instantly. "You need to stand up for yourself. Don't let him get away with this." I read it again, my jaw tight. She was right. I couldn't just sit here. I'd been naive for too long. "I can't believe I ever looked up to you," I muttered, more to myself than him. Adrian glanced at me, unconcerned. "Look, it's business. Emotions get in the way. You'll understand someday." "No, Adrian," I said, standing slowly, feeling anger ignite. "I understand perfectly. You're selfish. You've been using me, and I'm done being the naive victim." His smirk faltered for the first time. "You'll regret this." I shook my head, fury boiling. "No, you'll regret this. Every single choice you made. I'll make sure of it." I grabbed my coat and stormed out, heart hammering, mind racing. Lila was waiting outside, and I didn't even need to explain. She already knew. "Let's fix this," she said, gripping my hand. "We'll take him down, step by step." I nodded, determination flooding through me. I would rise from this betrayal. I would reclaim everything. And Adrian, he would regret every single lie he told me. I slumped into the small cafe where Lila waited. Exhaustion written all over my face. "You look like you've been run over," she said, smirking, sliding a coffee toward me. "Feels like it," I muttered, staring at the dark liquid as if it could fix everything. "I've been working 3 jobs just to scrape by. And Adrian, he's probably laughing somewhere." Lila shook her head. "Don't think about him. Think about what you can do. You're stronger than you realize." I clenched my fists under the table. "Stronger? Yeah. I can't let him win. Not after what he did. He thought I was naive, that I'd just take it and crumble. But I'm not that girl anymore." "You're not," she agreed. "And this is where you start. Step 1, rebuild. Step 2, document everything. Step 3? Step 3? I asked, raising an eyebrow. "Step 3 is making him face the consequences," she said, eyes sharp. "In his world, arrogance is a weakness." "You can use that." I nodded slowly, heart pounding. "I've started saving secretly. Every penny I can hide from him. And I'm keeping track of every lie, every manipulation. It's empowering, actually." Lila smiled, leaning back. "See? That's the fire you need. Turn anger into action. Start small, plan big." I laughed bitterly. Funny, isn't it? The same brother who promised to protect me underestimated how far I'd go when pushed. "He thought too lightly of you," she said firmly. "That's his mistake." I stared out the window, watching people pass, oblivious to my life unraveling and reforming at the same time. Mom called yesterday, worried I wasn't eating properly. Dad asked about Adrian, completely unaware of the betrayal. I couldn't let their ignorance lull me back into trust. "You know," I said, voice quieter now, "it feels good to be planning. For the first time in weeks, I feel like me again. Not just a victim. Not just a sister who got fooled. That's the spirit, Lila said, giving my hand a squeeze. Every step you take now is one closer to taking back what's yours. And he won't see it coming. I smiled, determination burning in my chest. Then it settled. I'll rebuild. I'll fight. And Adrian? He's going to regret thinking I was weak. I told Lila my plan over coffee, and she didn't blink. You're really doing this? She asked, spoon clinking the mug. Yes, I said. I'm done waiting. I'm going to make him feel a fraction of what I felt. She leaned forward. So what's step one? I get into his circle, I said. I volunteer at the firm, meet his people, learn who depends on him. Then I plant little seeds, rumors, questions, documents. Nothing obvious. Just enough to make them doubt. Lila smiled thinly. You sure you won't lose yourself? I ask myself that every day, I admitted. But he used me. I'm reclaiming my story. The first week felt like acting school. I introduced myself as an intern, bright, eager. Hi, I'm new here, I said to Mark, Adrian's supposed finance wizard, who barely glanced up. Mark looked me over. You're Adrian's sister, right? Heard about your investment? Rough break. Yeah, I said, keeping my voice steady. I just want to learn. Maybe help out, he shrugged. We could use an extra hand. Files numbers? If you're good, you'll get noticed. I worked late, found patterns, memorized names. I smiled a lot. Do you think Adrian's deal will actually go through? I asked casually at a lunch table. A junior analyst snorted. Adrian talks big. He's sharp but risky. Some partners worry. That's interesting, I said, letting my eyes widen. Risky how? He pushes timelines, the analyst said. Sometimes promises revenue that never shows. I filed that away. Then I befriended a receptionist who texted Adrian's calendar. Who cancels meetings with him? I asked her. Clients sometimes. Or he double books. He's got a confidence problem, she confided. I started leaving traces. An anonymous email to a small investor with a copy of an altered budget. A printer left with a misfiled memo that questioned his numbers. I felt sick and excited, like someone rewiring a clock. One night, I cornered Raoul, a mid-level partner. Do you believe Adrian's projections? I asked him. He frowned. I want to. But after last quarter, I'm cautious. If anything looks off, people bail. So you'd tell others? I pressed. I would, he said slowly. If it affects them. Days later, I watched Adrian on stage at a pitch event, microphone bright. He began a confident spiel. Midway, a partner's whisper spread through the room. Faces shifted. I heard his voice crack. Afterwards, a sponsor approached, shaking his head. We need assurances, she said loudly enough for nearby reporters. Adrian flinched. I felt a cold thrill. It was small, but it was mine. A ripple starting. Karma had a beginning, and this was it. I smiled, knowing this was only the start of a long, dangerous game. I walked into the living room and stopped. Adrian was already there, smiling as if nothing had changed. Mom sat on the sofa, knitting. Dad read the paper. Lila and Mark waited nearby, faces tight. Adrian, I said, hands cold. We need to talk. He raised his brows. Always dramatic. What is it now? I set a stack of papers on the coffee table. I have copies of bank transfers, emails, and receipts. Do you want to explain these? He gave a soft laugh. Those are business records. Context matters. Context? I echoed. You asked me to trust you, I did. Then you took my savings and spent it on your schemes. Explain that context. Mom's eyes widened. Is this true? Adrian looked at her, charm switched on. Mom, I only did what I thought would help us. It was for our future. For our future? I scoffed. You used my money to cover your mistakes. You lied to me, to them. Mark stepped forward. I saw altered budgets. Adrian promised returns that never happened. Adrian's jaw tightened. Mark, you're twisting things. Numbers can be interpreted. Interpreted. Lila snapped. You interpreted my sister's life away. He stalked closer. You don't understand the pressure I deal with. I was trying to save us. Save us by stealing? Dad said, voice small but sharp. You promised to look after her. Adrian's smile faltered. I did what had to be done. I felt fury like heat. You call betrayal necessity? You turned my trust into your bankroll. He tried gaslighting next. Maybe you weren't careful. Maybe you shouldn't have handed everything to someone else. Don't blame me, I said. You convinced me. You preyed on my faith. Adrian's face hardened. You're making a scene. People have reputations to protect. Then protect yours by telling the truth, I said. Tell everyone why you really spent the money. There was a silence thick as glass. He inhaled slowly. I thought I could fix everything before anyone noticed. And did you fix anything? I asked. No, he admitted, voice small. It spiraled. You should have come to me, I said quietly. We could have found a way together. His eyes flicked to Mom. I thought I was saving you from worry. Mom's hands trembled. Adrian! I looked at him and something inside me softened for a second. But then I remembered late nights, empty fridge promises. You stole from me, you lied. You gambled with my life. He bowed his head. I'm sorry. I could have listed every misdeed, every lie, dragged him through every ruined meeting and broken promise. Instead, I let the papers sit between us like a judge. You will face the consequences, I said. I'm not ruining you. The truth will. I won't become what you are. Adrian's shoulders slumped. You win then? I already did, I said. Because I chose myself. I left the room before he could say more, my chest raw and strangely light. The future felt mine again. I got a text from Lila first thing in the morning. Did you see the news? I clicked the link and my stomach sank and lifted at the same time. Adrian's latest investment had collapsed. Reports cited mismanagement and overconfidence. My brother's arrogance was finally catching up to him. Lila called immediately. You see? It's working. You didn't have to touch a thing. I laughed softly, shaking my head. I know, and yet it still feels unreal. He thought he was untouchable. Later, at the cafe where I often met Raoul and a few of Adrian's colleagues, whispers followed me like a shadow. Did you hear? Raoul leaned across the table. Adrian's losing partners fast. His reputation. Well, it's fragile now. I nodded, swirling my coffee. I heard it's inevitable. One of the younger analysts added. He always pushed everyone too hard. People are tired of covering for him. I smiled faintly, but it was bittersweet. It wasn't about schadenfreude anymore. It was about seeing consequences unfold naturally. At home, I opened a drawer and found the envelope I had kept since the betrayal. My savings. Empty, of course. But a folded note Adrian had written years ago fell out. I'll always protect you, little sister. I held it to my chest, feeling every memory. That promise had been twisted, and yet here I was, still standing stronger. Mom peeked in. You've been quiet. Everything okay? I nodded. Better than okay. I'm learning, growing, Adrian. He's learning too, though not from me directly. She looked confused but nodded. I just want you to be happy. I am, I said, though I wasn't finished. Hurt, yes. But I've taken control. That counts for more than revenge. Later, Lila joined me for our nightly debrief. Are you proud of yourself? She asked. I paused. I think I am. Not because he's falling, but because I didn't let him break me. I planned, I waited, but I didn't stoop to his level. I kept my integrity. And that's what matters, Lila said, smiling. I glanced at a photo on the wall, Adrian grinning at me on my birthday, the way he used to make me feel safe. A pang hit me, but I let it pass. That trust had been broken, yes, but I had rebuilt myself stronger than before. Raoul texted me later. Everyone's talking. Looks like karma's real. I laughed quietly to myself. It is, I whispered. And it's just getting started. I sat on the balcony, night settling over the city. Lila joined me, coffee in hand. Quiet night, she said, glancing at me. Quiet, but full, I replied. Full of lessons, mistakes, and victories I never expected. She smiled knowingly. You've come a long way. You're different now. I am, I admitted. I used to rely on Adrian for everything. Guidance, protection, even hope. And he broke that trust. But I survived. I rebuilt. I became stronger because I had no choice. Lila nudged me playfully. Stronger, smarter, and maybe a little terrifying if you ever need to be. I laughed, a short, honest sound. Maybe, but terrifying isn't the goal. Control, focus, awareness, that's what matters. And I've learned to trust myself first. The phone buzzed. Adrian. I hesitated, thumb hovering. Finally I answered. Hello? I said, voice steady. It's me. He said, quiet this time. No smirk, no charm. I messed up. I see that now. I took a deep breath. Yes, you did. And there's no undoing it. No apology can fix what was lost. But I won't drag you further. I've moved on, silence. Then softly, I'm sorry. Truly. I know, I said. But the lesson is mine. You've learned yours the hard way, he swallowed. I underestimated you. And you're not the first to do that, I said. But I am the last to let it happen. That's the difference. I ended the call, heart steady, mind clear. Lila raised an eyebrow. Feeling okay? Better than okay, I said. I feel empowered. I can handle life, betrayal, disappointment. Anything, she nodded. You've earned that. I leaned back, letting the night air wash over me. Memories of Adrian's betrayal, my sleepless nights, the plans I made, they all felt like bricks in the foundation I'd built for myself. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was thriving. And the future? Lila asked softly. I smiled, looking at the lights of the city stretching endlessly. It's mine to shape. I'll keep learning, keep growing. Nothing can take that from me, she raised her cup. To you. I clinked mine against hers. To me. Stronger. Wiser. Unbroken. Finally. Have you ever trusted someone completely, only to be betrayed? How did you handle it? And what would you do differently if given a second chance? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more family drama stories. See you in the next video.